Alright guys, welcome to another video. If you find this video useful, please do like the video. It costs you nothing and it helps this channel to grow and get the message out there, the natural testosterone boosting lifestyle. But in terms of what the video is, this is a topic I get loads of questions about. Loads of you guys DM me, you're interested in fasting and the effects that it has on testosterone, obviously. I'm going to give you my thoughts on fasting, whether or not you should do it, because the answer is it massively depends on your situation. Not all guys need to do fasting. Some guys, it's going to cause real problems for your testosterone levels, so we'll get into that. So, I did a lot of fasting when I was a little bit younger, and it was fantastic for fat loss. And a lot of other guys will tell you the same thing. It's great for fat loss. It's not the best thing in the world for gaining muscle. Your cortisol levels tend to be higher around the clock. Your protein synthesis tends to be lower because you're not having protein that often. Half the time you've got no protein coming into your body, so the protein synthesis by default is going to be lower than if you had more protein servings. So, and then the stress hormones tend to be higher, especially if you do this every day or you live that lifestyle. So it's not the most anabolic of diets to follow, which might be fine, and I'm going to get into more detail in a minute, depending on your situation. If you're skinny and you want to gain muscle, I wouldn't be fasting. That's the last thing I'd be doing. So that's just from a body composition standpoint. From a health standpoint and a longevity standpoint, fasting is brilliant. But from a blood work standpoint, specifically if you have diabetes or you're pre-diabetic or you have systemic inflammation, I would definitely be doing some kind of fasting, because no man is high testosterone when he has those things. If your fasted blood glucose is 110, 120, so you're officially diabetic at that point, at least pre-diabetic, you're not going to be high testosterone until you get that down. Like, it's impossible to be that high blood sugar and high testosterone. Like, that's got to come down before you can hit the big numbers testosterone wise. And if fasting helps you to do that, which it will, mixed in with a bit of keto, for example, yeah, definitely fast. Like, fast until that problem is fixed. Same thing if your CRP, your inflammation is high or elevated beyond 0.3. Do whatever you can to get that down. Your life might depend on it. So who cares what your if you're going to gain muscle or not if you've got those problems. And so that's where fasting can be really, really useful. And then the longevity angle. Once you're over the age of 40, fasting is going to do all sorts of preventative measures. Preventative in terms of like health problems, like anything from cancer to obesity to diabetes to anything that can basically go wrong with the body. Fasting is going to help prevent that from happening. And so doing some kind of monthly 36-hour fast or 72-hour fast is going to be a very good idea. You don't have to do intermittent fasting every day. The real autophagy comes from those longer fasts, especially 72 hours. And guys over age 40 are interested in, you should maintain your muscle, for longevity reasons, especially the lower body. But trying to be some bodybuilder who benches 400 or something ridiculous usually isn't top of the agenda for guys in their 40s and 50s. So the occasional fast is fine, is what I'm trying to say. But if your blood sugar is within decent ranges, if your cortisol levels are already a little bit higher, your stress levels are a little bit higher, and you're not overweight, I don't think fasting is the best thing to do. You'd be better off getting some nutrients in first thing in the morning, especially things like magnesium. If your stress level's already high, you don't need prolonged periods where your body's getting no food. Your stress levels are just going to go higher and higher. Cortisol control is a huge skill for the modern man in the modern era. I've said it before. It's extremely true. And chronic cortisol acts as like a ceiling on your testosterone levels. If you're stressed out all the time, you're not going to be high T. So first thing, you're better off getting some magnesium, some nutrients, also some protein from a protein synthesis standpoint. It's one of the million reasons I suggest having eggs first thing in the morning. You're getting all the nutrients and some protein, and it's satiating. So it's good from a physique bodybuilding standpoint. It's good from a testosterone standpoint. It's good from a cortisol standpoint. It's also not. I mean, even things like protein and fats, it will increase your blood sugar slightly, but it's not gonna make you diabetic. Eating eggs in the morning is good for your blood sugar and insulin. So yeah, if cortisol is something for you to think about, if you want to gain more muscle, if you are not diabetic, if you're not highly inflamed on a systemic level, then fasting isn't necessarily going to be the best thing, especially if you're doing it every day. It could be a very good idea once you hit a certain age for longevity reasons. So as always, it depends. For a lot of you guys, though, there's better things out there, i.e. eggs for breakfast. Some people, it's going to be maybe a couple of eggs, some Brazil nuts, or it could be, this isn't the tastiest thing in the world, but things like sardines or salmon or something like that first thing. It's up to you. But fasting isn't necessarily the best thing for testosterone for a lot of people. Even the people who need it temporarily, you only need it temporarily until that blood sugar thing is fixed. Once it's fixed, you then fall into the category of people I've just listed. And there's going to be better diets out there for you. So that's more or less it on fasting. For a lot of you guys, and guys who've been clients of mine in the past or bought meal plans off me in the past, it's a mistake to be fasting every day. It's going to be putting your stress levels up higher than they already are. If that's you, you might want to watch this video because I list out I give you the biggest mistake of all the testosterone mistakes. You could be making it right now. In fact, you probably are. Odds are you're making it right now. You might want to watch that video. It's going to save you a lot of time. Instinctively, you're going to not want to do this, but this is why you need to fight your instincts, because this one thing could save you years. It would have saved me years 10 years ago. It would have got me to my goals much faster had I done it sooner. Check out that video. I think you'll find it useful.